knights and fellow lords coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mara Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many other, and so many others like yourself. It's so good to see you guys. Welcome. My guys, it's so good to see you. Yo, welcome Leon, welcome SJ, welcome Logan. Thank you so much for coming in, fam. Appreciate you guys being here. If I don't sound good, it's because I'm like sick. So I'm sorry if I don't have the same high energy that I usually do. But don't worry, guys, we're gonna get in here. But I'm so glad to have you guys back here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about some Star Wars horror stuff. It's gonna be really fun because my playlist started, if you guys haven't seen yet. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream, Leon, SJ, Logan. Yo, can I get for the first time today, ready up inside the chat? Let's go. Yo, Ahmad as well. Welcome, Ahmad, with the stream. Ready up. How you doing, fam? How's everything? So good to see you guys. Let's go. Yeah, we got it going on right now. Yeah, man. So I started my playlist for Star Wars horror, and I don't know. YouTube didn't like it. I don't know if it's because it didn't have the right clickbait title like it usually does. It's really weird the way YouTube's algorithm works, but I'll have to try to figure out another way to always try to make these titles so appealing for the algorithm because it will never show your videos. But I've been working on a lot of the Star Wars horror mythos stuff. I have a whole playlist, so if you guys want to get into that spooky time, because we're a couple weeks away, it's going to be fun. Ahmad says, I think General Grievous' origin would work well as horror. Interesting. Just because, how tragic his character was and everything that he had to deal with on the planet, and then also becoming the cybernetic abomination, which I also think is really interesting because he hates droids so much, and it's almost like a self-reflection of himself. He's definitely up there with Vader, I feel like, but I don't think he's above Vader in terms of suffering. There's a lot of really good stuff I think that you could do in Star Wars, and we'll definitely talk a lot about it today. Since I am a little sick, I'm gonna try my best to go at least an hour today, but if I can't, guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut the stream short. Usually around 8 or 9 I start to feel really terrible, and I gotta take my NyQuil because your boy is unk status, okay? So does the Death Trooper scene in Ahsoka 8 count as horror? I think it's pretty I think it's close, but it's not the same as the Death Trooper books, you know. I think what's interesting about that scene is that it can show you what Star Wars can do with it. And I actually think that's actually one of the best parts of the finale, even though I didn't really like the finale. I feel like the finale should have just been a little bit better. But anyway, how many of you had read the Death Trooper books so far? I think a lot of people talk about the Death Trooper book as kind of I don't know. I would say that the Death Trooper book is kind of surface level Star Wars stuff. There's, in my opinion, way more things out there that are Star Wars horror, especially stuff that's hinted at in source books. I actually think a lot of the horror elements are in the Unknown Regions and Ultimate Adversary source books that are really fun once you get into them. But Death Troopers is probably one of the most mainstream or the most known thing in Star Wars fandom that you could do with it, and I think it's really just the beginning. Genuinely, I genuinely believe that it's just the beginning that you can do. And that book is really not bad. That book is actually solid. You would think that zombies can't work in Star Wars, but I think this book delivers it near perfectly. And just not just how they work in Star Wars, but the writing, how it can work and how it's executed. There's a lot of really fun things that they did with it and they executed, man. God dang, I'm late. Nah, man, you were here before anybody else. Leon, everybody, welcome Leon with a ready up. What's going on, fam? I'm a little sick today, so if I'm not as high energy as I am, it's because of that. But if you guys want, please If you guys want, please let me know. I know if I can do better. I'm gonna try to go the full hour today, but we'll see what happens. Oh man, it's okay, man. Yeah, Death Troopers is one of the favorite. So, Logan, since you're one of the people that dabble in this, what do you think is probably the most interesting part of the Death Trooper novel, or just like the idea of it? Because I feel like if you were going to tell a movie only Star Wars fan that there are zombies in Star Wars or a form of zombies in Star Wars, I think they would be really, you know, taken back by the idea of that. And I'm not even talking about rackles, because rackles are really interesting. You know, rackles have a very, very, very interesting like of how they do these things. You know, and I think that's also like really cool about rackles is how you bring them into the universe as well, and they're always going to be around in some form. But the Death Troopers in Project Blackwing and the Nell Nell is I think always connected. And I think that you could do so much. You know, Logan and I were talking a lot the other night about potential stories in Star Wars, and Logan is actually going around checking out some of the EU material from other countries that didn't have any adaptation whatsoever for North America or US. And there's some really creative, awesome stories that you didn't see in the expanded universe or new canon. So it really like begs you the question: when are they going to allow these type of stories to be a part of the Star Wars universe? There's a rumor that the father may appear in Ahsoka season 2. What are your thoughts on that? I thought he died in the Clone Wars. Yeah, he definitely died, but it doesn't mean that that there couldn't be another father, you know, or someone could have taken his place, or maybe it's the Force, you know, talking to someone. He could appear as a Force ghost. I think if there's anyone that could appear as a Force ghost, it would be him. He was clearly a very strong Force sensitive. And I don't know. I think it's fine. I think Mortis is a very interesting part of Star Wars lore because George really wanted that, and I think it connects to where Star Wars was essentially going to be going if George Lucas had made his version of the sequel trilogy. George has a lot of crazy ideas, and I think that's probably, I don't know. Dave really only knows. Dave only knows, I feel like. So you can only get those things from Dave. As long as it's executed well, I don't have a problem with it. You know? I don't have a problem with it. But it's just about, like, are we showing them to show them? You know? Or is it actually going to be a good story? That's probably my main question and my main worry. Ahmad says, yeah, but how are they alive? Aren't they dead? So, so the ones in Ahsoka, they are basically revived through the Night Sister magic, you know. And once you destroy those bodies, they're gone. They don't have any more vessels to stay in. Now, Project Blackwing is basically a virus, and the virus is taking over their body, but the virus is also like semi-intelligent, where they can use weapons, they can open doors, sometimes they can talk, they can pilot things. There's a lot of really crazy things that they can do. I would say, I don't know, it really depends on how you view it. When I read the source book for, I think it's the Unknown Regions, and I think that's the one that the Nell Nell is in. Logan, correct me if I'm wrong. But the Nell Nell is essentially telling you in that source book that Project Blackwing is like a part or evolution of the Project Blackwing virus. And the Nell Nell is a part of it. And the Nell Nell, as we know, is like a single organism that is controlling everything. It's connected. So I guess you could say that the Blackwing virus is also alive in some form. That's at least how it would make sense to me, and how they're able to communicate and smell food and go different areas and have a goal. There's a really interesting part of that novel that I was actually going to make a part of the video playlist that I have, where it's trying to take over Chewbacca because Chewbacca gets infected, and it's trying to make Chewbacca eat things and feast on people. and Chewbacca is like fighting it inside of his subconscious while it's taking over him. It's probably one of the craziest parts of that book, and I think that alone was worth the read. Because it's crazy that you would think that these characters like Han Solo and Chewbacca would be in a novel like this. It would just be like characters that are one-offs and everyone's gonna die. But I think the story does a really good job of showing you like, hey, yeah, they're actually a part of this and they're an integral part of the story. And I think they needed something like Chewbacca to help you see that virus take over. It's really crazy, man. I may be spooking you guys out, but if you have a novel that you're going to read for a spooky time in Star Wars, it's probably that. Chewbacca Vision, Baby Wooka talking to Chewbacca, Sibley stalked by some. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, man, it's insane. It really is. I'm a hardcore Resident Evil fan, so I love insane, scary sci-fi lore. Yeah, and Resident Evil does it so well. I think Resident Evil elements can work in Star Wars. I just don't want Star Wars to be a horror fest, you know. Like right now, I'm reading Galaxy of Fear, and there's a lot of really cool elements that they use because that's basically like the Star Wars Goosebumps. But even how that works, I think that there's stuff that they can take it up another level, and of course they could take it up another level because, you know, at the end of the day, Goosebumps is like, you know, made for children, you know, young kids, young adults, you know, even. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. Yeah, it's really cool. They're dead, yes, but it's an action, so it can be changed. Yes, 100%, yes. Also, guys, really cool thing. I'm actually gonna make a TikTok video on this. I was like sent toys from a company called Moose Toys, and they sent me these dioramas for Star Wars, and I think they're available now on Amazon. And basically, like, you can not only can you set these up on like your shelves in your room and everything, but you also get these like really interesting artifacts inside that, which is kind of like some rare memorabilia that you can get, and it's like, I don't know, you know how the random stuff that you get, the mystery boxes, it comes with like one of those in every single diorama. But they're really interesting. I like them. They're pretty cool. They found me, I guess, on TikTok or wherever, and they ended up sending me these things. So I wanted to show you guys what I got. If you guys have any kids or family or something that might like them, I think it's a really cool, interesting way to show scenes of Star Wars, and the way that they did that with the photos in there, and you also get like a little miniature like poster as well. So that's really cool. Yeah, I really like the mini posters. I think the posters are really cool. Yeah, but that's it's like the start, and they picked a bunch of creators, and I was lucky enough to get it, so that's pretty cool. Someone's listening, someone's watching the stream, someone's listening to the hot takes. But I'll probably do a whole video on TikTok, but I wanted to show you guys here because you guys are cool as hell. So actually, you know, I had a question, Logan, because I know you were talking about supernatural encounters a lot. Is the Nell and the Project Black Ring ever like connected to anything in there as well? Because you know, we talked about like the Star Weirds, which of course is like one of the most talked about things in Star Wars for the last like maybe like 5 or 6 years. Finally, someone like went into the source books and saw this thing exists. And now I feel like a lot of people are kind of hoping for that Star Wars fix of horror. But there's a lot, man. There's a lot you can do. I think the Shadowlands and Kashyyyk are really interesting. I think Exegol is really cool. Korriban, of course, the Tombs of Korriban. If you've played Star Wars, The Old Republic, or at the very least read any of the Old Republic books, like the Bane trilogy, although Bane isn't really a part of the Old Republic, but I think there's a lot of really interesting things that happen inside the Tombs of Korriban, especially with like Sith spirits and Terran tactics. A lot of really fun, interesting stuff, man. I think that you can, I don't know, sky's the limit with Star Wars horror, honestly. I even think like the underworld of Coruscant could be terrifying, you know? People talk about gangs and things, but like, what if there is creatures like lingering in the sublevels of Coruscant where people don't go down there, you know? I don't know, man. There's so much things that you can do. For 3 weeks now, I'm back in Star Wars. It's a blast, dude. That's so cool. What class are you playing, and what do you have your what's it called? It's the player housing. I can't remember what it is, but I always do Sith. I love Sith Inquisitor. Sith Inquisitor is my favorite story out of all the stories. I know a lot of people love Jedi Knight and the Sith Warrior story, but Sith Inquisitor I think is my favorite. I love it. I enjoy it. I also love Droman Kaas. Of course, Droman Kaas has the Dark Temple. That's what I always play at the beginning of my stream because I love that temple so much. Logan says so much spooky stuff in Supernatural Encounters, Other Space. Oh, so they even did Other Space. Wow, really? Other Space is a very huge deep lore cut. Charnel Wards, Shadow Beings, Possession, Cthulhu. What? Cthulhu's in Star Wars? That's crazy. And Shadow Beings, interesting. I'm not sure if I've heard of that one. Is that like another Star Weird thing or something? There's also, which is interesting, by the way, Space Wraiths, which are really, really cool. I feel like maybe what we'll do, guys, is since I'm feeling really sick, we'll do another Star Wars horror stream sometime in October. And I'll show you guys some of my favorite Star Wars source books where I can show you some of these things that I usually talk about on my videos. They're really fun. But the Space Wraiths are really interesting, and nobody talks about them. No matter how many videos that I make, the algorithm doesn't pick it up. And I feel like I need to keep making that until the algorithm pushes these videos, because there's so much stuff people already know and they talk about over and over, because that's what content creation is. It's like rehashing evergreen content because the video's too good. But when I try to bring something original that is not talked about, there isn't a lot of people searching for it. And since I don't have 3 million subscribers, it's harder for a video like that to really pop off. So I'm going to keep trying. Maybe make more TikTok videos, maybe do more. We'll see. SJ says, I made a playthrough with Republic Soldier for the first time, did both Jedi classes, and made a Sith Warrior today. Dude, let's go. Yeah, I remember when that game first came out. I loved that game. I still love that game. It's one of my favorite Star Wars games. A lot of people didn't like the multiplayer or the PvP when it came out. They also felt like the open world wasn't really as open as they would like. I felt like it, but I haven't played that many MMOs. So that was like my favorite for sure. Let's go. Messi just scored another goal, baby. Let's go. So, I think I'm trying to think. Star Wars: The Old Republic also has some horror in it, with the Korriban tombs, and I think that's one of the coolest parts about Star Wars: The Old Republic is every MMO has NPCs. And the coolest thing about this MMO was that it was originally the first fully voiced MMO. Like, that was like something that they were always consistently trying to promote before this game was like always coming in, right? And finally it releases. And I think one of the best things that they did was also have the NPCs voice conversations. So if you walked around like a certain level or did something, you would trigger this event of the NPCs, and the NPCs would basically drop lore that's happening. And one of the coolest things... Hang on, wait a second. Let me see if I have it. I might have it. I'm going to see. If I don't have it, I'm going to laugh at myself. But one of the coolest things that I always really enjoyed about these... Oh, damn it, I thought I found it. One of the coolest things I always loved is you find these NPCs like before a quest or something, and they're talking about the craziest stuff, like people getting dragged into the tombs, and it's just like, what the F is going on? What do you mean people are getting dragged into the tombs? What's going on? It's like, it was such a fantastic way to really, I don't know, immerse yourself in Star Wars: The Old Republic. I loved it. It was so damn cool. I feel like I have it, but maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll have to keep checking. Uploaded. No, not there. Audio. Videos. I don't know. I'll keep looking to see if I have it, but I'm not really sure if I do or not. Star Wars. TikTok lore. Nope. Edits. Nope, that's not it either. Damn, I'm about to say it. So Leon says, any day KOTOR remake. You know, we were talking about that a little bit on the Star Wars Starlight podcast, and I just do not foresee them fumbling this. Like, I feel like, in my opinion, guys, and you guys could absolutely call me out for this, if you fumble the KOTOR remake, I think that you've fumbled, like, you've made the biggest mistake outside of not making the sequel trilogy by one person. You know, like, I just feel like they would not be able to cover from it in terms of, like, hey, you know, this is happening with the video games, and we're not going to take video games seriously ever again because you literally did not do this. You know, I can't see it. All right, so I actually found what I was looking for. You guys ready for this? Hang on. All right, I literally found it. All right, so this was back in the day where I made these things, and yeah, I made these, and I think it's really interesting because the Star Wars Old Republic MMO is one of my favorites, and this is the stuff that I was talking about, how fun it was. So let's see. Yeah, I have that on. Okay, let's see. So this is on Korriban, and this is what the Korriban NPCs say. Oh, it's not playing. Damn it. Oh, 1 second. Hang on. What is going on here? Why are these things all so silly? Okay, let me see.
His tomb is a death trap.
All right.
Naga Sadow's tomb is a death trap. Tell the overseers we aren't ready.
And Dire's failures inside the academy. I'll take my chances with the other acolytes.
It's every Sith for themselves down there. We barely made it out alive, and Corus didn't make it out at all.
Corus was weak. Another acolyte crosses me, they'll get what they deserve.
Fine. Just wait until the med pack kicks in, all right?
Yeah, man. It was stuff like this that I remember, like, kept me up, like, all day, all night, playing on Saturday by myself. I would just listen to the NPCs and what they were saying, and there was always little stories that you could listen to, and it would always had something to do with your quest. And this is Korriban, and Korriban is beautiful, one of the coolest planets in that MMO. So it was really fun. I think there's another Korriban thing. Let me see. Yes. Oh, yes. This is where they talk about the tombs, and I thought it was really funny.
A word of advice. Don't enter the tombs alone. Travel in numbers. Take plenty of weapons.
We were told to complete the trials alone. You survived them. They can't be that bad.
You haven't been inside. The things in these tombs. Darkness, beasts, abominations.
Some say the madman in the tomb of Agenta Paul will kill you before the rest does.
Don't listen to this coward. We're here to prove ourselves, aren't we?
Go ahead. Ignore me. There'll be more to take your place.
Yeah, man. God, dude, I do not understand why they have not made another modern day MMO for Star Wars. I feel like the option is really there. Like, you could have done it, you know. There's so many resources, there's so much going on. I mean, even if it was something like the High Republic or the sequel trilogy, like, to give your player a story that is disconnected but at the same time surrounded by everything else that's happening in the current Star Wars lore. I mean, even something in the Mandoverse, you know. I feel like there's so much going on with that, man. But oh, Jesus, dude. Yeah, but I really do hope we get the KOTOR stuff. It has potential to be the greatest Star Wars game of all time. Yeah, it still is, you know. It still is to me in some way, but I feel like there's so many other games that right now, I mean, even Battlefront 2. Like, Battlefront 2 is, like, still to this day, with all of its flaws, like, people are consistently asking for a third, and I think that needs to be, like, put up there on a pedestal. Like, hey, man, you guys love this game so much, even, like, with EA, you know? That says a lot to me. That's crazy. Yeah, so SJ says, made a playthrough with Public Soldier. Oh, and if you guys haven't played Star Wars, especially Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline, you probably will miss one of the best Star Wars storylines ever. Yes, I agree. I think that game has some incredible stories. Like, genuinely, I think it is such a great story, man. A lot of people like get really upset about certain things that happen in there, and I can understand because that game is also made alongside with the Revan book, which I do not like. But even still, if you disconnect yourself from the Knights of the Old Republic storyline that should have been included in that game, or at the very least revised, I think that you will really enjoy Star Wars: The Old Republic. Logan says lots of Eldritch and ancient stuff in Star Wars: The Old Republic, given the context in. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, man, there's a lot of cool stuff. I remember seeing Bel Savis for the first time, and then you fight the Rakatan on there. That stuff was crazy. And if you guys don't know, Bel Savis is like one of the prison planets of Star Wars. Like, you do not go there. Like, you do not go on Bel Savis because the whole planet is supposed to be a prison. And like, even the core of the planet has like some of the most powerful beings on there being held. I think it's a really interesting planet. I mean, and it's even mentioned in Andor, which is really cool. It's one of the planets that Cassian was going to go to if he drew wrong. So he goes to Narkima instead. And Bel Savis is one of the ones. I know Narkima is like crazy when we've seen Andor, but like, I would not be going to Bel Savis, guys. There's so much crazy stuff there. I know I'm not leaving. Like, I know that I am not leaving, you know? That place is crazy. Yeah, man. That is an insane planet, man. Oh, guys, I'm trying, man. I do not feel good today. I'm so sorry. I know the stream is kind of like plud today. I hate it. I want to see Exar Kun in live action somewhere. Me too. I hope one day we get him. Like, I love Exar Kun so much in the Tales of the Jedi comics, man. Yeah, it's crazy, you know. I feel like Exar Kun is one of the most important Star Wars characters that is outside of the movies, because he has that connection to Luke Skywalker. So, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, he's OP. No, I mean, like, Logan, you can chime in on this as well. I personally believe that the only two consistently like powerful characters in Star Wars expanded universe is, in my opinion, is Vitiate and Sidious. I think those characters are literally, you know, the same, in my opinion. Everyone's going to talk about Vitiate, of course, because they're Old Republic lasers, but like, in my opinion, I think Sidious has done more because of the Dark Empire. He's also the character that inspired Vitiate. You know, Vitiate is basically expanded universe Sidious, right? But outside of that realm, one of the only characters that is below them and can also contend at times, in my opinion, is Exar Kun. Exar Kun is right there. You know, if he's top 5, he's not 5 and 4. He's got to be 3. I think the only other person outside of that guy that can rival him is probably Crate. You know, that is my true Sith Lord tier list. Sidious and Vitiate, and then Crate, and Exar Kun. And then I would put, like, Cadus and all these others down there, you know. That would be my honest to God take on that, because I just think Exar Kun is on a whole other level. I literally think he is probably Return of the Jedi Sidious power level. That's how I feel he is, especially when Luke Skywalker encounters him. Luke Skywalker almost dies to him. This guy literally possesses one of the most powerful Jedi in Star Wars. You know, it's crazy, man. Exar Kun, I don't think is glazed and gassed up enough, honestly. He's so good. The Rakatan on Bel Savis gets dedicated Star Wars Expanded Universe chapter. That's crazy in Supernatural Encounters. That's crazy, man. Yeah, isn't he like so powerful? If I remember correctly, and I think the Quest had said this, he's supposed to be so powerful that the entire Infinite Empire had to unite to imprison him, Which I think is also crazy because I think he's a flashpoint in Belsavis, and then all the heroes, like all the players, have to, destroy him or fight him as well, or put him back in his prison. I can't remember what happens at the end of that flashpoint, but it's been a while. By the way, we have a Star Wars release this week. Yes. We are going to see Revan in Lego form, man. I am so excited, dude. I am so excited, man. I've been trying so hard to get Star Wars' attention so they can send me some stuff for this movie, but they have completely ignored my ass, man. It's been crazy. That movie I'm so excited about because of Revan. And even the first one was really fun. I'd almost got the Legos for it, It's so crazy. Fat Soka? Oh, because the small Lego stuff? Damn, I can't believe you guys call her fat. That's crazy. Jesus. Logan says, I feel other Sith have found more knowledge than Kuhn. Perhaps the Masasi ritual succeeded, then Kuhn would be a Vitiate level. Yeah. I don't think he's on Vitiate level or the Emperor's, but I think he's right below. Like, there are 99 out of 100. He's a 98, in my opinion. I just think that... I mean, you have to understand, too, right? For what Exar Kun did alive was insane. This guy walks in... Dude, I love Exar Kun so much. I'm probably an Exar Kun glazer. This dude alive walks into Coruscant in the middle of the Senate, and everybody that is inside the Senate, mind you, it's like thousands and thousands of people, he freezes them. They cannot move. Thousands and thousands of people. That is insane. We've never seen that happen in Star Wars. And then on top of that, he's so strong that literally all the Jedi that are alive have to unite to scare him into doing the ritual. And the literal depiction of that comic book is thousands and thousands of Jedi unite to defeat Exar Kun. And it's a beautiful, I think I have it. I'm going to try to look for it real quick. It is a beautiful photo, and it's not called a photo in the comics, right? It's called I think it's called a panel, right? Or a strip, I'm not sure. And oh my god, dude, what he does and how this is drawn, I think is amazing. I'm gonna try to find it real quick. It should be Sith War, right? 1 second. Do I not have it? Knights of the Old Republic, Tales of the Jedi, Crimson, Dark Horse. It's gotta be in here somewhere. I know it's gotta be in here. Oh, maybe I don't have it. What the flip? Man, I'm an idiot, dude. I don't think I have it, guys. I could have sworn I made a whole freaking video on this. Maybe that's where it is. Maybe it's in my video. Let me see. Let me go to drama. Exar Kun. No. Damn it. Oh, here we go.
When thousands of Jedi united to destroy a single Sith, Exar Kun eventually discovered the ancient sword, casting him into a flying high no man than It wasn't until the intention to confront the light side of the Force and struck.
Look at this. Look at this. These are thousands of Jedi. This is where Exar Kun is, right here at the bottom. Okay, he's right here at the bottom. And he's in his little temple on Yavin, right? And all these Jedi that are in the sky, these are all Jedi. Look at them. They're all uniting against this guy. It's insane. It's insane. And what's even crazier to me is that Exar Kun becomes more powerful in death. And I think, like, a lot of people just like, oh, well, this is the Tales of the Jedi comics. These people aren't as strong or whatever. No, that's not true, bro. Like, this guy is on a whole other level. That's why he was such a freaking demon to deal with. He was insane. And he got so much knowledge from Frida Nad, Marco Ragnos. Jesus, man. It's like I can go on and on and on about him. Exar Kun, I think, is cool. Lost City of the Jedi from Jedi Prince. Yeah, man. That's a cool one, too. Oh! I wanted to talk to you. Logan, do you have these? Do you have these? Do you have these? I found these at my local used bookstore, and I've been trying to get more of the Young Jedi Knights. There were only a couple bucks, but I wanted to get as many as I could. I don't know what part of the series this is in terms of numbers. I don't know how many exist, but I want to get as many. They're really cool, man. They have this, like, I just got them all. Nice. How many are there? How many are there? So I'm going to see if you guys can see it. So there's this, like, Pokemon holographic look to them. And I love it, dude. You see that, like, holographic look? It's like an old Pokemon card, man. So 90s. These are in such beautiful condition. I love it. I love it so much. I love it. I think I say that so much. But yeah, they all have this really freaking cool look, man. It's so vintage. You know, so vintage Star Wars era, man. So awesome, so sick. Whew. All right, guys, I'm probably going to get off in the next couple of minutes. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know before I head out, because your boy is getting tired. I just don't have the endurance because I'm so sick right now. I was told by so many people not to even get on. 14 bucks? Oh, wow, that's a lot. Okay. 14. Okay. That is a lot. They're really cool, man. I think these are some of the coolest books. Some of the coolest looking. Yeah, they're cool, man. I don't know, dude. Like, do you ever look at these old Star Wars books and, like, everybody's got drip? Like everybody got that shit on, dude. Look at this swagger, dude. Look at Luke. Like, everybody they got that shit on, dude. Like, where are they shopping, man? I think new Star Wars is missing that. Like, new Star Wars is really missing that type of look, you know. And you guys know, like, I like some new canon stuff. I like a lot of new canon stuff, but there's a certain aesthetic that is missing from Star Wars, and I think they struggle to capture it at times. But yeah, guys, I think that is going to be it for today. I'm coming undone very, very shortly here, and I'm gonna go relax. But I hope you guys enjoyed this stream for what I can. Next week I'll be 100% better, and we'll get into it for sure. Make sure you bring all your stuff. We're gonna be talking about lots of stuff. It's gonna be October soon, so bring all the stuff, bring all the videos, bring all the source books, get inside the Discord. You know, please, guys, I love seeing this community thrive, man. We're doing so good over here. But as always, you guys know, coming into the Dark Temple, visited by Mira Jade, Luke Skywalker, and Kyle Katarn, and so many other Force senses like yourself. I'm Lord Dagovere, and I'll see you around. Deuces.